thing that really impressed me the most were two things. One is how many rotations we go through, because it's really great to get all that experience. We go to a VA hospital, a couple other hospitals, a prison, child hospital. Another thing that really impressed me is another formal Cal Poly student was here, and so I talked to her, and she told me how much she loved it and recommended.
I chose Fresno State over other internships for a couple reasons. It was close to home, so that way I would still be able to live at home and save some money there. And also because I truly believe that we have a wonderful undergraduate program, and so I knew going into the internship it would be just as good as our undergrad program.
One of the reasons why I chose Fresno State is because I feel like I've been developing a rapport with people here and developing relationships, professional relationships with people. And so I felt like if I can get in Fresno State internship, I would get to be able to connect with other registered dietitians in the field of Fresno and just build more of a community with registered dietetics here at Fresno.
I chose Fresno State because of its emphasis on health promotion and disease prevention, which is something that I'm very interested in and I'd like to incorporate into my future career.
I just like the overall balance within the program. There was a bit of community service, there was the medical nutrition therapy, as well as other aspects as well. So I just thought it had a good balance, and then the opportunity for the master's program.
Well, first, I'm from here. One of the main reasons I chose it was because I wanted to stay local. And because I grew up here, I feel very strongly about giving back to the community that I grew up in.
Some advice I would give is to really get involved and make yourself a well-rounded student. You know, if you may not have the highest GPA, that's okay. Make sure you get experience in as many areas of dietetics that you can. You know, do clinical, do community. If you can do food service too, that'd be great. They're really looking for a well-rounded student that is clear that they have, you know, the passion for nutrition. We all have that, so they really want to know that you've been making an effort to go out and get experience in the field before applying to the internship.
Definitely look over the website thoroughly, make sure you read everything. Make sure what you have on your resume matches what they want. On Fresno State example there, they do want the GRE, so make sure your scores match what they would like to help your chances to get in. Same with experience. Experience is really great, so a lot of internships like experience, especially Fresno, so get out there, work hard, and make sure your requirements meet Fresno's.
Start early, research where you want to apply to before the application period starts. That way you're organized and you already know what you need to have for those specific schools, because it is a lot of paperwork, it is a lot of organization, and there's a lot of details that go into applications. So being organized and efficient with your time is really important when you're applying to internships.
Try and do parts of your application a little bit at a time so it's not so overwhelming. It does help also to contact your director for any internship that you're applying for, just so they can have a name that may be a reference in the future. Also, I would suggest trying to get in touch with some of the preceptors if it's possible, or getting yourself involved in the Fresno community, whether that be volunteering at certain areas related to nutrition, or working at a nutrition facility, hospital, things like that.
So I'm Leanne Sapad, and I'm currently a dietitian. I graduated from Fresno State in May 2013, and right now I'm working as a clinical dietitian at Cahuilla Delta Hospital in Visalia, California, and I'm also working as an outpatient dietitian through the Summit Eating Disorders and Outpatient Program.
So what did you like most about Fresno State?
Well, one thing that I really liked is I'm from the area. I went away for school for 7 years, but coming back here I found that, you know, it's really diverse, and it gave me a good sense of what it was like to work as a dietetics practitioner here in the home, you know, my home valley. And I think one thing too is that with this internship it offered a lot of different opportunities. It was very well rounded, and through Fresno State, I mean, I had a natural pride for Fresno State since I'm from the area, but it's just such a great program overall. Like our director is great, all of the professors who were involved in the program, the department is great, and so overall it was a really positive experience. And I know it was difficult because you don't know what you're getting into, but we always had like safeguards in place for us to kind of back us up if we ever had any questions or felt really not confident about what we were doing. So that was why I chose Fresno State. So with the end of the internship, it was the most quick moving 9 months of my entire life. Like, it was just rotation after rotation with no real room to breathe in between. Even with the even with the like 2-week break that we have for winter, it was just like really trying to catch up on sleep and then go again. So I had my most difficult rotation at the very end, which was nutrition support at Kaiser Permanente, and graduation was the Friday right after I finished. And so by that day it felt very surreal, kind of like, is this really the end? I don't know how to feel, like, and just that ceremony that morning, it felt great to see everyone there, but it personally and internally I felt like I didn't recognize it. And then as far as the exam goes, I personally I'm a really terrible person when it comes to studying, and I procrastinate a lot. And it was really overwhelming in the process of studying, just because with dietetics, there's such a huge, overwhelming amount of information to study, all for 125 to 140 questions. And I went into my exam, I was terrified out of my mind, and I sat there and it was very cold, and I had a lot of things distracting me with people clacking at the other computers, but I kind of zoomed in and focused, and you just kind of go with it, make your best guesses, kind of hope that you're prepared. All of the study materials I used, probably about 60 to 70% of it was on the test, and the rest was kind of stuff I'd studied before, a lot of common sense. And then the test just stops, and I freaked out because it said my score was supposed to appear on the screen, which it didn't. But when I went out of the test room, they gave me a handout and I had to read it myself, and it said, "Congratulations, you passed." And I thought, this is it? It just comes out on a little sheet of paper, everything I've been working for up to this point, just on one sheet of paper. And it took me about a good week or two for it to hit, but it feels amazing to pass, but at the same time, it just felt really anticlimactic. So it was a funny experience, but it feels good to have that all behind me. The first piece of advice that I have for people interested in the internship, one of the biggest challenges for me while I was going through it was money. I was struggling financially. It was a very, very dry year as far as that goes. I worked 2 part-time jobs outside of my internship just to kind of keep myself afloat and have, gas money, grocery money, that kind of stuff. And with the internship being 32 hours plus a full day of class with all the homework in between, it was a lot of extra stuff. So make sure you're saving up for the internship, and if you can afford to get a part-time job, and work it, it's really up to you. It was a big stretch for me and I didn't get much sleep, but just make sure you save up and prepare for a year where you really are just digging into your pocket change. One other thing too that I would like to say with internships, some advice I have is that with your rotations, your preceptors, you're learning to write chart notes when you're doing clinicals, and it's very difficult for you to pin down your personal style in counseling and writing your chart notes and approaching patients and approaching the interdisciplinary medical team. And so a lot of it is, you're kind of trying to, I feel like, satisfy your preceptors because they have a different approach. So now coming out of the internship and going into my new job and having worked for about 3 months or so, I feel like I'm still trying to discover what my personal style is as far as approaching patients and charting. So it takes a little while, and with the internships, rotations only going from 1 to 3 weeks, it's really hard to ever get comfortable in any one rotation because it's constantly on the go. But one last piece of advice is that you need to spend time taking care of yourself. And that means not just, you know, you, but socializing with your other interns and making good friends and connections with them, because this is kind of like your small family and only the other interns really know what you're going through because you're going through it together. So make sure to build a great support team. You guys should go out and have some fun together, even if it's just like sitting down and having like a nice dinner or like snacking together, but catch up and make sure that you're having that like that social connection so that you guys can like talk each other through things if it's getting tough, you know, giving tips to other people. That social network you have in place really helps you to get through it as well. And just reaching out for support too to any of the professors, to Erica, the director, is also fantastic. Just a way to help you keep going, keep you well-grounded and sane through the 9 months of the internship.
I've seen many lives change through this dietetic internship. I've only been here a year and a half, so from what I've seen so far, it has been amazing. The feedback that I got from our first cohort that came through, they're all working in their careers now, past their RD's exams, and they're starting to get their life. In fact, one of them I saw on Facebook posted something to the effect that it was her birthday, and she said, in my in my year as being 20, I think she was 7, said, I am now closing my chapter on my dietetic internship. I got my job that I wanted. I bought a brand new house. So you get to see their lives just flourish. I know as students you sit there and wonder, when is my life ever going to be normal, and when will I get to the real world? And you get to see that. So yes, I've seen lives change that way. I've also been able to see dietitians or future dietitians get in the job that they really, really loved. Like one of them already is saying, I'm doing my dream job, and she probably doesn't know it yet, but she'll be doing more than one dream job. At some point I have a feeling she'll probably switch jobs and it will still be another dream job for her. But how amazing is that? And then, because I'm from this community, I get to see, and I've met many people that have came through this internship and now have moved up and are doing amazing things for this community. And how important is that, if this internship wasn't there, for us as a community to have those folks in our community? So I see lives change constantly with this internship.
So Carolyn, can you tell us, why did you choose to be a proctor?
Well, I went back to school a little bit later, and I was very appreciative of all the people that helped me along the way, and I just, made a mental note that I was going to do the same if I got the chance.
Okay. And at the end of the day, is it worth your time, the investment in these students?
Absolutely. You see people blossoming from, say, even in the matter of a week. You see their self-confidence grow. They have the skills, so many of them, and they're like little baby birds. You just kind of see them fly out of the nest, and it's very rewarding. And when we hear back, when someone's passed their test, we all get really excited too.
Okay. Have you seen lives change throughout the time that you have invested in these students?
A lot of times someone comes into the program and they are sure that they're going to do one avenue of dietetics, because we know there's, so many different roads to travel down. And they can, decide, they have an aha moment, and then they decide, this is really the way I'm going to go. Maybe I thought all along it was going to be this, and then it turns into something else, and that's really great. It's really great, because then you feel, when you do something that you love, it shows in your work.
When I found out I got accepted, I was the happiest person ever. I was literally running around my house screaming because I was so excited, because I knew how much my future depended on it.
I was thrilled. I found out at work, so this was after hours, so no one was there, but if the security cameras could talk, I was jumping up and down.
Oh my gosh. That was the best feeling.
I was so excited. I was very happy, and to get into any internship is really exciting, but Fresno State was definitely one of the ones I wanted the most, so I was very happy.
Yeah, I can't even speak right now.